Welcome back to Katie Didn't. Today we're going to be discussing the power of building habits. Initially, I read James Clear's book, Atomic Habits, back in early 2022, and I found myself using the principles daily and recommending them to my clients as well. In this video, we'll explore some of the principles he discusses in his book, Atomic Habits. The first step when making changes in your life is to start small. Even though I'd like to, we don't make huge changes all at once and expect them to stick. We often think we need to make massive changes in our life, but that can quickly become overwhelming. For example, if I want to change my diet to be healthier, I'm probably not going to go out tomorrow night and throw away all my groceries and eat only eggs and meat starting tomorrow. That's not plausible. I have instead found that adding small healthy snacks like applesauce or carrots as a replacement to chips is a much easier habit to adjust to. The trick here is to find something easy to do that you can build on over time. The second step is to focus on the process rather than the outcome. Think systems here. Instead of setting goals like becoming more active, focus on small habits that will help you achieve these goals, like going around the block when taking your dogs out to potty, or taking a few walks after work before starting dinner. By focusing on the process, you'll be more likely to stick to your habits, and your dogs will thank you.
Well, thank you.
The third step is make your habits part of your identity. If you want to become fit, start thinking of yourself as an athlete. Kate the therapist thinks about coming home from work and vegging out while watching TV. Kate the athlete thinks about decompressing by pushing around some weights. Those are two very different things, and that's two very different people. But you'll become more likely to stick to your habits because they align with your identity. Luckily, James gets that we may still have difficulty putting these principles into practice, and thus writes a basic formula for us to follow. He claims that for us to change, we must follow the framework called the 4 laws of behavior change, as you can see here. The first law is to make habits obvious. One way to do this is maybe a habit tracker, marking things off on your calendar or something like that. By tracking your progress, you'll be able to see how far you've come and stay motivated. Another way to make your habits obvious is to create cues or triggers that will remind you to do them. For example, if you want to drink more water, leave a glass on your bedside table or on your desk as a visual reminder, hey, I need to drink some water. Like, for example, I keep lotion here at my desk because my skin is super dry. I have really dry elbows. And I'm not going to put on lotion unless I have this visual cue for myself. The second principle here is to make the habit attractive. No, we don't have to make it pretty, but we have to make it appealing.
This is beautiful.
One way to do this is to pair your habit with something you already enjoy. We call this habit stacking when we pair a new habit with a neutral or a positive habit. For example, if you enjoy watching TV, do some stretches while you watch. This way you're associating your habit with something you enjoy, making it more attractive and enjoyable. I hate doing the dishes, or cooking, or cleaning, or anything, but basically I'm a terrible housewife. So to make this tolerable for myself, I pair it with reading books. I pair it with listening to my audiobooks or podcasts or music. The third principle here is to make your habits easy. One way to do this is to break down the habit into small, manageable steps. For example, if you want to start exercising, start with just 5 minutes a day. Start with getting dressed in your gym clothes. That's it. By making the habit easy, you're more likely to stick with it. When I really don't feel like working out, I can usually get myself to commit to 5 minutes. It's like a 5-minute contract. Yes, it's legally binding in our house.
Good. A verbal contract is binding in the state of New York.
No, not really. But if you go for 5 minutes and you still hate it, you can leave. If you feel like you're up for continuing, then stay and commit to 30 minutes or a whole hour. But it makes it easier to get the habit started. The fourth principle is to make the habit satisfying. We're not going to do anything that is not fun to do. One way to do this is to reward yourself for sticking with your habit. For example, if you're training for a 5K, go ahead and buy some nice running shoes that'll keep you motivated to stay training and stay running, and probably you're gonna look great on your 5K.
I'm pretty tired. think I'll go home now.
But by rewarding yourself, you're going to reinforce the habit and make it more satisfying. So there you have it, some key principles in making your habits stick. And remember, your habits have to be obvious, attractive, easy, and satisfying. And you'll be well on your way to building the habits that last. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.